I'm Angela Seals, and this is Peak Radar Live. Boot Barn Hall opened in northern El Paso County in 2019, and since then has become truly a creative juggernaut in the northern part of Colorado Springs. Here to tell us about what they are up to up there, and it is ambitious, is Chris Phillips. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Angela, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We're so excited to have Boot Barn Hall here. We can see a little bit of the hall behind you. For folks who have never been there, would you tell us a little bit about what they will find when they visit Northgate, north of Colorado Springs?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it really is a world-class venue. We opened up in March of 2019, we're open for about a year before COVID hit, and really hit the ground running and brought in a bunch of pretty big name acts, both local, regional, and national. And once we shut everything down, we are just now getting back to the fact with no more restrictions and being able to really promote live music again. It's gone from kind of 0 to a million miles an hour overnight. And we were looking at the calendar about a month ago and went from having nothing on there to now we've got literally over 125 events scheduled, both public and private, through the end of the year. So it's gotten a little crazy, but we're super excited for it, and it's just an amazing venue. It's really an event center. I mean, everything from, like I said, comedians to concerts to, we're hosting the city's 150th anniversary gala this year. So
Yes,
weddings. I mean, we kind of do it all. The
Yes,
Sesqui
yes.
Soiree, yes, yeah, we're excited about that.
So as Chris is describing to all of you, this is a 15,000 square foot entertainment venue that is part of a $15 million campus with the Bourbon Brothers Tavern and Buttermilk Restaurant. And you are building a bit of an empire, aren't you, at Northgate?
We're working on it. Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking earlier. This whole exit, this whole north side of town, has really blown up over the last, call it 3 or 4 years. We've got a Top Golf opening next door in a month, and we own our owner JW Roth owns all the land here, and we own these 3 venues. So Bourbon Brothers Smokehouse and Tavern, which opened in 2014. The Boot Barn Hall venue, and I'll kind of get into the name of that in a second here, which opened in March of 19. And then the Buttermilk Restaurant, which is our breakfast brunch restaurant just to the east, which opened in March of 2020. So not the best timing, but we were open for about a month there and then had to kind of close everything down, but have reopened and doing really well there. And then the plan is to grow this concept and replicate it in cities across the country. So we've got plans for 5 new campuses in the next 5 years.
Wow.
The first one being, yeah, it's aggressive and ambitious, but that's the way he likes to do things. And
we love when local projects go national. I mean, that just represents the entrepreneurial and innovative and creative spirit of this community to the whole country. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. And we agree. And we think there's a lot of opportunity there. I mean, we've already connected with, just ironically, partners like Eagle Rock Distributing, who is the big Anheuser-Busch partner here. They're based in the city that we're opening up in Gainesville in Georgia. So we've got a lot of these kind of national network connections that we're going to utilize to keep this thing growing. Right now, the main focus is getting our venue here programmed out through the end of the year and into 2022. I mean, we're already looking at booking events for next year. And it's really exciting. And, Boot Barn Hall, I want to just kind of reference that because there is a little bit of a weird disconnect there with the name. And we've had people coming up and wondering if this is like a boot barn warehouse. And no, it's not.
Like
but,
selling boots, reselling boots.
Yeah.
No, you're
Exactly.
boot scooting in there, aren't you?
Yeah. So we do a lot of boot scooting. I mean, there's a lot of two-stepping that goes on in here, but
we're going to see that.
I think when we first had opened, I think it was just Bourbon Brothers concert hall. And then as we're going out and trying to find sponsors and partners, we were approached by Boot Barn, obviously national global company, and they wanted to be a part of what we had going on. And we figured out a way to work a naming rights deal. So that's how Boot Barn Hall came about. So just want to make sure everyone's aware that we do have a little Boot Barn merchandise kiosk in here where you can get your boots stretched
So
and get your hats cleaned. You can, yes, yeah. So it's kind of it's a unique.
If you arrive without boots to scoot, Boot Barn Hall will
You can
also
get
take
you
care
can get
of
your
these.
boots. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, let's talk a little bit about the programming because you mentioned it for a moment, the kinds of international, national, and local touring and performing groups that you have on stage there. We have a couple clips of what it's like to see live music at the Boot Barn Hall. So tell us a little bit while we watch a little bit here of Wildwood Station about the types of music that you're presenting on stage there and how local music fits into that scene.
yeah, absolutely. And it's a big part of why I took this position. I'm passionate about music. I've been involved in the music scene in the city for a long time, and I really feel like and with partners like yourselves, Angela, with Copper and Peak Radar, there's a real opportunity as the city continues to grow the music scene, and that's something that we definitely want to be a part of. So, I think when we had first opened, we were definitely a little bit more leaning towards country and classic rock, but my goal is to kind of expand those genres a little bit. Everything from bluegrass to reggae to, we had an Elton John performer in here. I think we have some clips of.
Yes,
So
yes,
to
we're into
really
that
kind of,
moment.
oh, yeah, really open it up. Wirewood Station, who you mentioned, that you just saw some clips of there. They're an amazing local band. Like they kind of toe the line of that bluegrass and country a little bit, and they really bring a lot of energy to the venue. So um, that we're open to kind of everything that's out there, and we want to show people that we're not kind of pigeonholing ourselves into one genre or another.
Yeah, yeah. And so just to prove it, we have a clip here from Rocket Man that's currently, that was just playing last weekend right there at
Yeah.
Barn Hall. And here, I love these clips because they really show the live experience of the audience. I love seeing these folks down front. In the last clip, we could see people swing dancing on the
Yeah.
dance floor in front of those who are seated at tables and eating delicious food. And look at how he's
This guy.
tearing up the stage.
I will tell you, Angela, I'm not, I mean, I like Elton John. I'm not a huge Elton John fan, but I kept hearing about how amazing this guy was. And I've been talking with him on and off, getting, all the details organized for the last few months before we brought him in here. This guy, this Rocket Man show is amazing. I mean, he is the official body double for Elton John. He's the only
Wow.
artist out there he's endorsed by Elton John. So if you watch the movie Rocket Man, any of the scenes when they're showing the younger Elton John, that's actually Russ Anderson, the guy that we had here performing for 3 days last week, and he brought I mean, it was just the super high energy. I
Yeah.
think everybody here had an amazing time. It is so good to see people enjoying live music again and being able to kind of interact with each other and dance around and have fun.
Yeah, it really is. So what comes next? We're so pleased to be having the concerts and also Sunset Patio Sessions, the live outdoor concerts of Boot Barn Hall on
Sure.
peakradar.com. So tell us a little bit about what you guys have planned for the rest of the summer.
Absolutely. And this is a way, so in addition to the, 15,000 square foot venue we have on the inside here, we've got a 9,000 square foot patio with 5 big gas fire pits. I just finished building, you haven't seen this yet, but I just finished building a bandstand that sits on the west end of that patio. So the band gets to play under that with this
Wow.
incredible view of the Front Range. And I'm looking at this as a way to really start kind of
There's that patio.
um, introducing, yeah. So if you look, you can't see it now because it's not built in that picture, but there's
Mhm.
a big bandstand that's built right on the west end there that kind of overlooks that whole view. So we
Wow.
started every Wednesday, Thursday, and we're looking at this as a way to kind of grow that local music scene. So all the patio session bands that we've got booked, and we're booked out through I think August at this point, are all
Fantastic.
local bands. So everybody from last night and tonight, we have a band from Manitou called High Mountain Duet. We've had a band from Palmer Lake called Hickabee. We've got Marion the Pharaoh with Deidre, who used to be from Woodshed Red. We've got Roma Ransom coming out. So
Oh,
I've used a lot of connections that I've had working with the Meadowgrass Music Festival over the years. And this is a way for us to kind of really promote these local bands and help them, hopefully get to the next level.
well, I think that's something I was so excited to get across through this episode with Boot Barn Hall is that you are presenting so much more than what people might expect at a Boot Barn Hall. It is country and it is definitely in that wheelhouse when you want it to be. But there's so many other genres And then the fact that you're doing international and nationally touring work right alongside local music,
Yeah.
that you guys on your team have that heart for lifting the local music scene. I think it's really exemplary, and on behalf of the whole arts community, thanks for taking
Yeah.
us along on your
Yeah.
ambitious
Well,
trajectory here.
well, and thanks for partnering with us. I mean, it's little things like this that kind of just show that collaboration throughout the city and the community, and we want to be a part of that. And if there's ways that we can, help, I mean, more music venues, the better. More music in the city, the better. And we just feel like that there's a real opportunity to kind of put Colorado Springs on the map. There's plenty of talent out there, and
Yeah.
we want to kind of help put those musicians on the map and get them to get to that next step.
Well, it's very exciting. Thanks so much for joining us on this show today, Chris, and telling us more about everything that's happening up there on the growing campus of the entertainment. If you haven't visited, you should head up to Northgate in North Colorado Springs and check out Boot Barn Hall. You'll find all of the upcoming concerts listed on peakradar.com, of course, and support local music and also support national and international touring music, support music in our community. It's easy and really fun to do.